Sacks taken the last 4 games, 4. Broncos sacks per game. They're on pace for one of the great sack seasons in NFL history. Jordan Love has no wins this year when he's been sacked 3 or more times. He's 0-2. It's only happened a couple of times. They do a great job of protecting Jordan Love. The Broncos, they're talking about it being the best pass rush since the 1984 Bears. They're on pace for the most since 1989. Will the Packers be able to protect Jordan Love against the Denver Broncos? If the answer is yes, they win. If the answer is no, they lose.
I don't have a graphic, but I believe Love's been good against pressure this year. You might know that.
He's been below average against pressure this year.
I'm trying to.
I don't have that off the top of my head, but
Can Denver get to Jordan Love is what you're saying here. This one I got to say I didn't understand quite as much as the other one.
Oh no.
But now I get it. It just took me a second to get it. What, KW?
It's all right.
It's not as cool as the others. The other 2 stats were cool. We got to be honest. We got to be honest. No. I'm just telling you, the other 2 were eye-popping.
I don't choose the stats.
I wonder. Because what came into my head was the flip side matchup as well, which is Denver has been unbelievable at preventing sacks. Yeah, Bo Nix is one of the least sacked quarterbacks in the league. And what can Micah do and that Green Bay pass rush do to impact this game, where this is the excellent AFC team at home who is still an underdog. The Patriots were an underdog and it flipped. This one is sitting. That is a disrespectful 2.5 points. Green Bay going on the road.
I think it's right, but it is disrespectful.
Because they're also Denver's on the crazy winning streak like the Patriots are.
And
they're both 11-2.
Even crazier.
Love has a 55 passer rating against pressure. So.
You should have been. Yeah. I just remembered.
All right, I'm going to dive into the pressure statistics because I have them right here. I don't need Dusty, Josh, or anyone else chiming in. I've got this covered. So let's proceed. It's accurate to say Jordan Love hasn't been the most effective quarterback when facing pressure. His completion percentage under duress sits at 40.5%. Yardage totals can be misleading, as they heavily depend on how frequently a quarterback is pressured. The key question is, how many attempts is he making under pressure? He has 0 touchdowns and 2 interceptions in those situations. The passer rating I have recorded for him under pressure is 48.8. I believe both he and Bo Nix are proficient in this area, but it's not solely about them. Their offensive lines deserve significant credit for protection. When pressure does arrive, both quarterbacks excel at avoiding sacks. Jordan Love has faced pressure on 163 dropbacks, while Bo Nix has faced it on 152. Their pressure-to-sack percentages are nearly identical, 10.5% for Nix and 11% for Love. They both are adept at either getting the ball out quickly or extending plays with their mobility. Under pressure, Love has 21 throwaways. Nix has 25. Nix has scrambled 8 times compared to Love's 13. It's a compelling comparison. Jordan Love definitely tends to look deep when pressured. He's not hesitant to target receivers well downfield. His average depth of target under pressure is over 10 yards, which is among the higher figures in the league. He's not one to just check it down immediately. For a quarterback with his passing prowess, when pressure comes and receivers get open, he's willing to take those shots. A skilled quarterback can push the envelope like that. However, his success rate hasn't been exceptional here, and I don't place the blame entirely on him. A lot of this falls on the Packers system under Matt LaFleur and the team as a whole, not just the individual signal caller. We'll explore that further. The data shows Love is under pressure on 37.7% of his dropbacks. For Bo Nix, that figure is 29.5%. This indicates the Denver Broncos do a substantially better job of protecting their quarterback than the Green Bay Packers do. Therefore, the fact that Love isn't taking many sacks is a major credit to both him and LaFleur's scheme. I view it as a collaborative effort. I strongly believe a coach must provide solutions for handling pressure and blitzes. Performance under pressure is often inconsistent across the league. Last season, for context, Joe Burrow had 15 touchdowns under pressure, Sam Darnold had 13, and Lamar Jackson had 12. This season, no one is near those numbers. Darnold leads with 8. It's an interesting yearly fluctuation. So, while you'd like to see more from Love under pressure, I'm not ready to label it a fatal flaw. This leads us to examine performance against the blitz, which is where Love truly excels. Against extra rushers, he has 12 touchdowns to just 1 interception. He's been blitzed 155 times. While pressure has gotten to him on 68 of those blitzes, the Packers do a great job minimizing the damage through quick releases and good planning. His passer rating when blitzed is an impressive 112.7. The question becomes, do you really want to blitz Jordan Love? The evidence suggests you might not. There's a common adage that you don't blitz great quarterbacks. It's reserved for weaker ones. But is that entirely true? Matthew Stafford has been blitzed 172 times this season. Josh Allen, 162 times. So, elite quarterbacks see blitzes too. However, exploiting them is another matter. Attacking the blitz is unequivocally one of Jordan Love's strengths. He ranks 4th in the NFL in passer rating when blitzed, with a 62.5% completion percentage. All very solid. This context is why some surface stats can be misleading. For instance, noting the Packers have allowed only 4 sacks in their last 4 games tells one part of the story. For the full season, Love is in the top 8 for the percentage of dropbacks under pressure. To illustrate, Justin Herbert, behind a struggling line, is under pressure on 42.5% of his dropbacks. The lack of sacks for Love, despite frequent pressure, points more to his decision-making and the offensive system than an impenetrable offensive line. Another insightful metric is the percentage of dropbacks where the quarterback bears some responsibility for the pressure allowed. This requires context. Mobile quarterbacks like Lamar Jackson, 28.6%, and Josh Allen, 24.6%, are high on this list because they hold the ball, trying to extend plays. Jordan Love is also in the top 10 at 18.7%. But he's not in that same ultra-mobile, constant play extension category like Mahomes, Allen, or Jackson. He's more inclined to make a play with his arm. Comparing him to less mobile quarterbacks like Jared Goff, 13.9%, or Baker Mayfield, 9%, isn't perfect either, as Love is more athletic. It shows he's looking to make throws downfield, which sometimes means holding the ball a tick longer. Overall, the Packers do an excellent job of limiting total pressures and are exceptionally well set up to attack formal blitzes. Jordan Love does a commendable job of not inviting unnecessary pressure through poor decisions or holding the ball too long, unlike some younger quarterbacks who may rank high for the wrong reasons. This sets up a fascinating clash with the Denver Broncos. The prevailing narrative is that Denver's defense is sack-hungry, while the Packers are adept at preventing them. But as we've dug into, it's not merely a question of Denver's pass rushers versus Green Bay's offensive line. A significant part of the equation is Jordan Love's processing and the offensive scheme. The key will be whether Denver can generate consistent pressure without committing extra rushers. If they have to blitz to get home, they put themselves at risk against a quarterback who feasts on those looks. Early game signals will be telling. Can the Broncos create pressure with just their front 4? If they do blitz, how quickly can Jordan Love identify it and make them pay? We'll likely see this dynamic play out from the opening drives. What makes Love's recent performance so impressive is this. Over the last 4 games, he's been pressured on a staggering 41.4% of his dropbacks, a rate comparable to Geno Smith, Justin Herbert, and rookies like Shedeur Sanders, who face constant blitzes. Yet, he's only been sacked 4 times in that span. While he hasn't thrown a touchdown under pressure in those games, he also hasn't thrown an interception. He's limiting catastrophic mistakes. His pressure-to-sack rate in that period is an elite 8.7%, and his average time to throw is a lengthy 3.3 seconds. A final revealing stat from the last 4 games. Love was pressured only 9 times in under 2.5 seconds. For comparison, Jaden Daniels had 18 such instances. When pressured over 2.5 seconds, Love had 36 instances to Daniels' 34. This suggests the offensive line has provided a reasonable pocket early in plays over this stretch. When the clock ticks past 2.5 seconds, it's often because routes haven't developed or coverage is tight, and Love is trying to find an opening before pressure finally arrives. His average time to throw overall is 3.5 seconds. These are the nuanced details that make this matchup so intriguing. I believe this is the lens through which the game will be decided. It's also why the conversation around it can get complex. What adds another layer is Matt LaFleur's ability to pivot. If the Packers can establish the run effectively, or if their defense stifles Bo Nix and the Broncos' offense, then much of this pressure discussion becomes secondary. Playing with a lead or a low-scoring game allows Green Bay to dictate terms. They can be conservative, lean on the run, and rely on defense, or they can selectively take the deep shots they want. And when Love has taken those shots against the blitz lately, he's been devastating. In those last 4 games alone, he's thrown 5 touchdowns when blitzed. He's the highest-rated quarterback against the blitz in that period. The attitude seems to be, go ahead, send extra rushers. We'll make you regret it. He looks incredibly comfortable making those back foot, back pedal throws into tight windows. So, I'm fascinated to see how the Denver Broncos scheme to handle this. Obviously, they want to pressure Love. Every defense does. But at what cost? That's the central question. Those are my analytical thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What's your take on the Green Bay Packers in this context? Regarding the unstoppable force versus immovable object narrative between Denver's pass rush and Green Bay's protection, who do you think wins that critical battle? Do you believe it's as pivotal to the outcome as we've made it out to be? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, whether you agree or disagree. Let's get some discussions going, let's have some debates, but ultimately, let's just enjoy the analysis. Please consider subscribing. We're building a great community here, and I'd love for you to be part of it. We're creating something to feel connected to and excited about. Also, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. It genuinely helps with visibility. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.